2 o'clock, no music, just the sound of a sewing machine roaring in the background. Happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully you can all hear me loud and clear this time. This is awesome. Hello, everybody. My name is Rob Appell. I'm a quilt maker at Stitchin Heaven. It is Friday afternoon somewhere, and I'm here to spend a little time with you live. Hello. How are y'all doing? I'm a little wound up. I'm focused. I don't even know if I should say this out loud because you're all coming in right now and letting us know where you're coming from. And we've got so many of our wonderful subscribers out there and Facebook group fans and all that. But boy, I've been stitching now for several hours on this crazy log cabin I'm working on, and I don't necessarily want to stop working on it right now. I'm pretty focused on what I'm doing, so let me kind of shake it off. I was sewing along, and okay, great. I'm making sure everyone's coming in. This is awesome. I see Tanisha and Roxanne and Nancy's out there. So what? Knitting out there. Fantastic, everybody. Like I said, happy Friday. We're going to do our live show today. We've got a couple of announcements, which are pretty fun. I've got some fun photographs to share. Well, I really want to spend some time talking about how much fun I'm having. And it's not so much with the easy construction of this log cabin as it is with being around these wonderful colors and all of this fabric and everything that's going on. So while we're letting everybody sign in, this is the tutorial that's coming up next week, the easiest log cabin ever. But if you'll allow me to just run through a few steps real quick, I've got all the cameras up. We might as well do it. Like I said, I started filming the tutorial and finished it out. It's been edited, I should say. I know that. Okay, so anyways, I just pulled a straight seam off the machine, and I'm just going to go ahead and press real quick, and we are doing basically what I call the easiest log cabin ever, which is a wonky log cabin. It's a less than accurate log cabin. It is a carefree quilter style log cabin. And so one of the things that I was pointing out in the videos is I like to trim before I sew on my next strip of whatever I've got going on here. And that helps me set the sewing line, helps me put some fun character into this, which looks square right now. Backing up a little bit, I am looking for the part that is encapsulated by 2 seams. So this is the side I'm going to sew onto next, because if you look everywhere else, look, I've got an overhead camera. Let's use it. Let's zoom in. Hear the zoom? That's me, sorry. At any rate, so yeah, check this out. So make sure that things are going as you can see. Everything else has one exposed seam, where this one is encapsulated. So this is the next part we're going to do. And then just to set some fun angle and to actually start to constantly be building the block back to square, I'm going to go ahead and just trim off here as I go. And then what I'll do is, let's see, I've worked my way out here. So now I need to add in some more orange. I'm working from my lights to my darks. And hopefully one of these strips, oh, presto, look at that. That fits just perfect there. So then I just fold it over, and if it's a really funky angle, I got to pay attention. But this one's pretty simple, so I'm just going to line up my points. Let's go to the sewing machine for that 1/4 inch seam allowance. Did you all know you were going to step right into a tutorial today? Isn't this amazing? It's just my way of not stopping sewing quite yet. So yeah, like I said, let us know where you're coming from. Welcome everybody. Happy Friday. Hopefully you are already at your sewing machines as well, getting ready for a great weekend of quilting. I have just been loving this project I started working on. And like I said, a lot of times I'll start a project and build it for the tutorial, and it kind of goes into one of those, I'll get to it, bins in my sewing closet. But this is something that, because of all of these fabrics and all of this color, I just cannot stop working on this right now. I'm just so excited about this. So at any rate, let's get started here for the tutorial, or excuse me, for today's live fun video. Not so much information. Set this stuff aside so I will stop trying to make it. Sorry. Great. Fantastic. I see lots of you out there. Wonderful folks. Thank you again for being here. I'll check back in on the comments. So if you do have any questions on last week's tutorial, which was the bow ties and butterflies. This is a really fun and easy block made from the Old Maid's Puzzle. Here's this fun little video for you. Hey folks, it's Rob Appell from Stitchin Heaven over on YouTube, and I'm inviting you to check out today's awesome tutorial utilizing the old made puzzle block, but doing a super fun sew along with Tex fabrics, my new Worlds fabrics. I know you're gonna love it. Check it out over on YouTube. Thanks again and stay well. So yes, that was Wednesday's YouTube, the recorded polish tutorial. If you're one of our new audience members out there today, one of our new viewers, again, please subscribe, join the over 50,000 subscribers we have here at Stitchin Heaven. And also don't forget, we have a private Facebook group, Rob Appell, and you just have to ask for the secret password and they'll let you in over there. We'd love to have you. And so what was really fun about these blocks is I was following the color story that goes with the pattern that is free on the Tex website. So there is the link in last week's video for that. But what was also really fun is the way that your blocks will start to come together. And I really enjoyed this as I was building out the project. So look, I'm making a mess all over my counter here, but as these come together here, they make this really cool design like this. Kind of a diamond and a diamond. I'm not sure if you can see that there. You can see it a little bit better overhead. Okay, that's my diamond and the diamond there. But when you do the swap-a-roo, right, because whatever happens on this side is going to touch this side when you're using these symmetrical blocks that you've made multiples of the exact same, is so that when these come over here and these come back over here, a little shell game for us, then we get this really cool star here that forms out in the center like that. And I just think that's super cool. And so at any rate, really fun, really awesome. And if you're wondering what these terrific fabrics with all these prints on them, these textures, these awesome geometrics, folks, that is the New Worlds fabrics. That is the fabric that I created with Tex. It's super fun. And that's also part of what you're looking at up here on the wall, plus their wonderful solids and the shadow blush, which is actually the base of the New Worlds fabrics, which gives it some dimension. If you didn't hear last week, pretty exciting, got a pretty radical pair of sneakers. So there they are in video. Here they are on my skinny white legs, but I love them, and they are quilted happy feet sneakers, and we're going to tell you all more about those coming up down the road. That's a project and promotion thing going on with Tex, so stay tuned for that information. I just wanted you to know that I'm wearing them and absolutely loving them. Super awesome. Along with the announcements, great video. So in a minute we're going to get to the grateful list, and this is one of these things I'm very grateful for. This great beginner quilt project is really accelerated, and we're really blessed to have this. And so folks, make sure you check out this video, make sure you share it with your friends. It's a great place for us to start as quilt makers, sharing our love of quilting with others. It's a really simple project, and of course we love to sell kits at Stitchin Heaven, so we have kits for that. If you're interested, it's very easy. It's actually called That Yoda Guy, and there's a fun story behind that as well. We do a lot of quilt cruises, and there was a really neat museum that was discovered on the island of St. Martin. So anyway, check that out while you're there. Now, the reason I was starting to point out the New Worlds fabrics is not only because they're just arriving in multiple quilt shops all around the world, but because I actually have mentioned to many of you before, but they were inspired by me learning to tattoo. So one of the things that I love to do as a professional quilt maker is do other art outside of this room. And so learning to tattoo is something that I've always wanted to do, something I've started doing, and I've had a lot of questions. Why? Well, here's partly why. Let's look at this picture again, folks. There is that texture. Those are all designs that were drawn in a computer to create geometry. Well, now look at this. This is another design that I did this last weekend, and it is a there's an open space there at the top for a cover-up of a tattoo. So you can now see this is the beginning of the tattoo. We haven't finished the tattoo. It'll be a 2-session tattoo. But one of the reasons that I love being able to multitask or cross-train as an artist is you can now see that I'm able to use the geometry that I've been learning about for these wonderful designs, and there's a lot of folks that love that in tattooing as well. So this is why I've been so excited about it, and I love the way that the geometry and the color is taking effect with these kinds of projects, whether they're wonky or really, I'm not sure if you can see this block here, but this is actually a very accurate, well-pieced block. But then some of them are pretty crazy and wild, and I just really, really like the looks of that. I'd like to know your feedback. I'm going to add some more green. I think I'm going to need to add more green like this star here or this log cabin series here up into the rest of the quilt. So that's where I'm heading over the weekend, is I'm going to make a bunch of green blocks. I think that's going to be something really, really cool, something awesome to see out there as well. So, okay, as we're blasting through our announcements, I do need to let everybody know the Arabella, the amazing block of the month, where this here, see how it says pre-cut available? Well, folks, don't hate me because we've sold so many, but we are now sold out of the block of the month pre-cut version of Arabella, but we have the standard one. And I'm sorry, but I've left my standard ones over here. But all that means, folks, is that you'll get your fabrics just in slices and strips, okay? Nothing bad about a and maybe the reason, I'm hoping the reason that we've sold so many of these is that I let everybody know how beautiful the fabrics were. But not only that, I was telling everybody that because it's February this month, and in just a couple of weeks from now, we'll have that Arabella video for you where I am going to do each month the block as the tutorial on our channel and sew along and end up with this incredibly beautiful quilt. Now, I do not believe I'll be wearing this shirt. I'm going to do my best to wear my Passion for Precision shirt and do some really great accurate piecing, and having the batiks are going to really help out. So again, we have I don't know if I should say plenty, but we have some kits left that are like this, where you're going to get your, let's just call them fat quarters and quarter yards and squares and strips and stuff, and you'll cut your own pieces. It's the pre-cut kits that we have sold all the way through, and I think that's because so many of you have enjoyed your pre-cut kits from the New Year's Day sew-along we did this year, and it was just awesome. And so anyways, that's one of the things we really love at Stitchin Heaven, is those beautiful pre-cut kits. Now, a lot of our block of the months, and I want to point out that our registration right now is just $1 per block of the month. A lot of them come in pre-kit format, so don't forget about that. Pretty awesome and really exciting. So anyways, pretty excited to be getting ramped up for that. I need to get really focused and start the filming. You noticed I just showed you chunks of fabric and not blocks. You see what I'm getting at? So that'll be next week's. So if the praying type, pray that I can stay focused. I'm kind of addicted to this right now. Have I mentioned that already? Kind of fun. So at any rate, let me dive in for a moment, spend some time with all of you and see who's all out there and check on the comments. Let me see if there's any questions I'm missing. Oh, I hear sunny North Dakota. That's pretty exciting. Definitely more green. I agree. We've got Oklahoma out there. Thanks, Nancy, for the quilt saying it looks fantastic. And I see a coffee cup in Southwest Ohio. Cynthia, that's now distracted me. I want my coffee. I haven't done it yet. And oh, we've got Australia out there. That is so neat to think. This is the coolest thing about the interweb and connectivity and quilters. And if it weren't for all of us being in different time zones, I'd say we were just exactly here together all the same. Isn't that right? I know that doesn't make much sense. Sorry. Let's see. I was lost my track of my comments. Portland, Wyoming. Oh my gosh, Kentucky. That's all the states. I think that's all of them. That's great. Thanks again for being here, folks, live. I see a lot of you. I see a lot of you participating and being excited to participate in the live feed. So yeah, I try to check out all the comments. And Cynthia, who just said the whole cloth quilt using the tattoo designs would be awesome. Yeah, and bigger designs. And I think I can say it because they're not totally finished and it's no secret. They've been done before, but I am working on now a series of mandalas to be laid on the fabric that match these designs and the colors and all of that, because the color cycles will continue to build slowly as we release each season just a few of the new worlds. So it'll be fun. It'll be new worlds, newer worlds, newest worlds. And then let's talk about these log cabins a little bit more, because this is something I think. So can I ask you all your honest opinions? And I apologize, I don't even remember. It might have been a Moda fabric originally, but this quilt I made a million years ago. And let me just hold it still for a second and go to overhead. So this has got what is considered to be low volume neutral prints. Do you see how some of these have a bit of a yellow green, a bit of a light gray, a bit of this orange? So these are these wonderful geometric designs I found a long time ago and made this log cabin. And it's, again, like I have on the wall, wonky log cabin. But I think that the new worlds might translate great onto something like these low volume neutrals. So I've started experimenting with them, and I'm thinking that I might be able to utilize some new designs and or those mandalas on those. So let me know what you think of that idea, if you would all be interested in low volume neutrals. I am such a fanatic for the brights, right? This is my favorite color palette over here, rainbow, and I didn't coin that term, but I do think it's pretty cool. But I do think that they can really stand a purpose. So this is one of the quilts I was talking about building up to in the easiest log cabin ever. Let me go here to the main camera for y'all. And so you can just see there's some real fun, easy blocks in this quilt, some real great places for machine quilting. But these are scrap burners, folks. And so this is the greatest way to use up the pieces you've bought for 1, 2, 3, 4 other quilts in the past. So you can kind of combine palettes and then start to put them together to make one side or the other of the cabins, as you see here in my little bit more disorganized development here. We're calling this is not a real nice new development. Now, the other quilt that I had in the video that I was really excited about, and this one was done again with all basics using the same fabrics in each kind of direction. So this is kind of where I was inspired to start with what's on the wall. Another little show and tell log cabin-y here. This is all basically wonky, this is some wonky and some accurate blocks. And just really fun, again, project. I thought you might enjoy seeing this today. And so at any rate, I love these log cabin blocks because I really feel like the log cabin is a very simple block to just kind of sew for it. Should we coin a term? So like it's just, you're just kind of like I was doing. I've got a television on the other side of the room. It doubles as a monitor when I'm in here with the video cameras going. But if not, I'm watching some educational TV such as Ink Master, and I'm sewing over here, and I'm ironing and cutting and sewing, and it's just very easy to just kind of keep on going. So these are the kinds of projects that I absolutely love when I'm not interested in focusing on a sewing project. Right now, there's no real design. It's just all about sewing for fun. Oh, I see. I definitely put the low volume neutral. Do you like that? Okay. And yes to neutrals. Whose birthday is it? Oh, okay. I see other people talking about Arabella. Yes, it's an amazing, amazing project. I love that you're all talking to each other. This is so great. I'm easily distracted, but that's okay. As one of your fearless leaders, I appreciate you being able to deal with my easily distractibility. I do want to get onto the grateful list because there's a couple really good things to be grateful for this week. So let's dive into this. Feel free to put up the things that you're grateful for. If it's your first week watching a live video, this is just kind of a fun way for me to publicly announce the great things that have gone on during the week, kind of tie the show together. But it's also a really great reminder. Now, the show's called Sew Well. It's about sewing and wellness. Now, I'm definitely not a wellness expert or therapist. I am a recovering alcoholic, and I've had a couple of rough days the last few weeks, actually. And so what was really fun for me was noticing the energy change. And I've had a lot of you mention lighting, but boy, by putting this on the wall and being in this around my surroundings, my energy is all but doubled internally. I can really feel that. And so that's really exciting. And I believe this is why a lot of us come to quilt making. And so at any rate, reminding ourselves why we're grateful each day is important. So anyways, make yourself a list, make everyone else a list. And here we go. Here's my grateful list for the week. Tommy the cat. And I'm not referring to my, I almost said my favorite, it's not a favorite band, the song Favorite song from the crazy band Primus, Les Claypool. If you're watching today, like he'd be watching. At any rate, it's a weird band. Please do not look it up. If you've never heard of Primus, please do not look it up. Any rate, my cat, Tommy, I have 2 matching orange cats. I've mentioned Charlie many times. Well, we don't care much for Tommy, but he is still alive, folks. I saw him. I went and visited my neighbor a few days ago. His name is Brian. He helps me with my woodworking, and we were working on a planer that we found on Craigslist, and it's a 30-year-old tool, and he's fixing it. It's really cool. So anyways, I was down there and I was like, hey, that's my cat, Tommy. So Tommy, as I had predicted, has adopted a new family just a few weeks away. That made the Christmas card for the family this year. So yes, Tommy the cat is alive and well. He's as skinny as ever, and he's living 2 blocks down next door to Brian's house, which I'm thrilled with personally. Engagement. Earlier I mentioned the engagement. Not only do we have the 50,000 subscribers plus, and I'm hoping you're one of them, and we have the cool Facebook group and all of that, but with that really fun video, this Great Beginner Quilt Project, so many of you watched it in the first few days that Google or YouTube or whoever the magic fairies are in the computers made things happen and started pulling levers and introduce that video to a lot of new quilters. And so that's what we're looking for out there. That's why we ask you to subscribe. That's why we ask you to stay engaged. And when you like something, please share it with your friends, because the algorithms pick up on that, and that helps us serve the community. I don't want to sound like I'm doing a soap opera, so I won't, but remember, what we're trying to provide for you here is free sewing edutainment with the cost of spending your time with us. But in order to do that, we have to keep growing our numbers and things, because that's what shows the people that pay us to do this kind of stuff for all of you for free, that you're really out there and enjoying. So for all of you fans that are always out there enjoying, don't forget, we are watching. We know your names. We have your credit cards. We appreciate all of your support over and over again. We know you're out there. We really do appreciate it. Okay, here it is, Blue Nickel B-Day. My good friend Scott Hansen, and I'm going to embarrass the heck out of you right now, buddy. Here it is, my favorite photo of the guy. He was honored to be in the Whidbey Islands Beards catalog because he has a great mustache and beard. And so anyways, it is Scott's birthday, and I can't remember exactly how old he is. He is definitely older than I am, and we like to talk about that, but he is definitely my brother from another mother. And I love you, Scott. If you're watching it all today, I hope you've had a great birthday. I hope you have not eaten all of the Jelly Bellies I sent already. That was a lot of Jelly Bellies, man. So just slow down, if you will. At any rate, some of you have seen some of the quilts that I have been inspired to make from Scott, and you've seen my travels to the Pacific Northwest with Scott and things. So at any rate, really, really happy birthday to you, brother. Thanks for being in this great, great life with me. And then, like I was also talking about this whole video, just getting exposed to this great colorful fabric. So a few days ago, I dumped it out onto the table, and you can see here, this is before starting to film the video. I was starting to make a few blocks. No, that's a lie. This is after filming the video, because I've already made those blocks in the video. I know that because of the green one that's on the wall. So there's the first green one I put up. I thought it was going to work. I put a few more green ones up, decided I needed some more. Here it was right before I stopped taking photographs. But the truth of the matter, as I've been saying and enjoying, that by having all of this beautiful color around me and all of this wonderful fabric, it has been really, really a great few days of sewing and enjoying. And again, this is why I believe that quilting is such amazing therapy, because there's so many things we can do in our, I'm just going to say, sewing spaces that are therapeutic. 1, working with our hands. 2, distracting our brain and being creative. 3, taking risks. I think that's one of the ones. Like, how many of us, like, you know, really enjoy, now keeping in mind, folks, this is my scraps, right? So this is everything across the table is scraps from other projects, but it's still risky. I sat with those in a barrel for quite a while until I was willing to start to cut them up. But the nice thing is when I'm done, all of this fabric will technically be gone. I'll mow it down into the smallest pieces possible, and then I keep a little pillowcase going that I put the scraps in, stitch it up when it's done, and we make a dog bed for the local Humane Society, which is just another project that maybe we should actually tutorial that just as a reminder of one of the things we can do out there. So anyway, just another fun thing. And again, when it comes back to that major thing, it's the engagement and knowing that you're all out there and that you're enjoying the videos, the recorded tutorials, knowing you're coming to the wonderful events, you're signing up for, oh, the cruises. We just got up the photographs for the retreat. Okay, guys. Now for my retreat here, August 7th through 11th, 2024, we have limited spaces still available. Okay, so do not wait to sign up. I think we're less than 8 spaces left or something like that. But we'd love to have you. Please come and sign up. Some of the Quilting All-Stars will be there. It's going to be amazing. We're hoping they'll all gather, but it is a big commitment. And so hopefully you'll get to meet some of those also awesome, incredible all-stars that are out there. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be working on building patchworks and then putting appliques on top of them. You are welcome to work from one of the kits that we've created for you, or you're also welcome to work from your own project, and I will guide you through that process. That's part of one of the benefits of coming for a hands-on workshop with a professional educator at Stitchin Heaven. Not only do you get to sleep there, so you don't have to, you get to eat there, and you definitely should, but you also get to sew there the whole time, and the staff is amazing, if I can pat myself on the back. So at any rate, been lots of fun. Let me get back in here and double check these questions, folks. Make sure I haven't forgotten anything, missed any of you. So great having you here. Yeah, double energy. Things could get really crazy, couldn't they? I love that. Oh, now this is a fun one. Here we go. Brenda's getting a, is it a puppy? A Cocker Spaniel in about 2 weeks. 1.5-year-old Oscar. Oh, okay. So that's great. So not a puppy. Good thinking, Brenda. I like that a lot. And you know, our little fuzzy loved ones, whether they're cats or dogs, are so important. I'm not sure where my little Chihuahua is at right now, even though he's taken to going to the restroom indoors. And hopefully that's not what he's doing right now. But he's getting older. I think he's about 14, maybe 15. So can you really blame him at this point in his life, right? He's just happy. He's a happy little guy. I think you've met him before. His name is Winston, toothless little Chihuahua. So at any rate, folks, I think we've got it all in here. Thank you for saying you love the video, Star. I appreciate you all being out there. Make sure you all check out this coming week's video. Make sure you share it with your friends. We're on the real beginner quilter kick right now. Again, it's a great place at the beginning of the year when we see so many folks coming to something new and creative and exciting. And those of us who are already into this is a great time to grow the club, folks. So make sure you're watching your community for those people out there that might be interested in quilting or sewing along with you. And here's the signs. I mean, I don't have many of them, but look, just look for a few threads on their clothing, or if they walk up and start feeling your cloth, you know they're a quilter too. So anyways, that's my hint for the week. I really appreciate you being here. I'm going to log off. I've got a couple last things I'd like to do. Time for a fresh cup of coffee, and I'm gonna work on the rest of the quilt for this week, and I think it's gonna be really great. So I'll get you some more pictures of it as it wraps up. And I do believe this would be someplace perfect to do some machine quilting videos for, let me see if I can get it right, all y'all. And so yeah, let's put this one to use over and over again. I think that's a great way to double dip. Double check. I got some last comments coming in. All right. Nancy, that's right. Nancy has been at the retreat. I appreciate that. And it makes me wonder where Mr. Carl Sass is at today. Hopefully he's doing well as well. One of the all-stars, and like I think he has already signed up. So maybe Nancy and Carl come. We can all have a lot of fun. It'll be wild. All right, folks. Hey, thanks again for being here. Have an incredible rest of your Friday afternoon, evening, and or weekend coming up. Be blessed. And again, stay well.